Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I just want to go ahead and just talk about having your seeds planted for the future today. Nothing very technical, nothing that there's to teach today, other than just talking about why investing your seeds now to prepare for the long term and prepare for when you're older. I think it's very, very important, and I wouldn't even say very, very important. It's just a must do and a must have, is that you must have a seed planted now so that a tree can grow later, very, very big, so that you can start taking from the tree and let the tree produce products that are going to help you live. So, I use this analogy, and Warren Buffett actually says as well, somebody is sitting in the shades today because they planted a tree 20 years ago. Now, if we break that down and actually read between the lines, if we plant one tree, let's just say it's an apple tree, okay? And we need apples to live, right? In this theoretical world. We need apples to live. And I planted this tree 20 years ago. And today, from 20 years ago that I have planted the seed, I now have a big apple tree. And now, since the apple tree has grown and matured, it sheds off apples so that I can start picking from it to feed myself so I could live. And it is essential for myself to live because I need apples. So the apple tree is now providing me apples, and it grows apples every day, every week, every month to keep me sustainable and to keep my life maintained so I can continue living. And that's the same thing that you guys have to think about when we talk about investing. You should be tuned in, you don't have to be all crazy about it, but I just think that, and like I said, I just know that you should be invested in at all times, because we need that cushion to grow and grow and grow. And they say the best thing that's going to heal anything is time. So if you give your money to the market, or an investment or a business, you have to give it time to grow. Nothing just happens in one sitting. That only something like that happens in a lottery, and that is pure luck. But in a business or in a stock market or in a real estate, you have to give it time to produce more and to start growing and to start shedding off bigger amounts of money, bigger amounts of whatever it is. You have to understand that all great things, and I mean all great things, and this has been the recipe for the last 5,000 years, is that you have to let things grow over time. Now, it might not be the fun thing to do. Well, if you don't think that's not fun enough and you don't see the vision, just take your money to the casino, because in casino you can hit something real quick, or you can lose all your money real quick, and the odds are that you're going to probably lose all your money really quick. Now, a point that I want to touch upon is that how rich people say they're always broke, and it's a mentality. They're trying to be broke all the time, because what they give their money to is not things that don't produce a return. They give their money to assets that produce a return, that gives them money every single month, every single year, whatever the case or the time frame may be. But that is what they mean when they're always broke. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have no money to spend. They give their money, their dollars, to these assets. They don't buy clothes. They don't go out to eat all the time. They don't buy brand new cars, buy houses that they live in. They give their money to businesses. They give their money to stocks. They give their money to real estate. They give their money to all these different things on the spectrum about what's going to produce a return. And when you see people who are being very frugal, is that they spend their money differently and they have a purpose for their money. There's two different things when you hear frugal and cheap. Cheap just means that you're just trying to do the cheapest thing so that your money doesn't disappear. You know what I'm saying? But there's certain things I'll probably get into another video that you don't want to be cheap on. So when somebody labels you cheap, they really don't understand the whole frame of mind when there's cheap people and there's frugal people. Because frugal people are, they keep the cost low and they keep their living lifestyle low so they can achieve a goal that they've had in mind, especially when it comes to money. And that's exactly what I try to do when I try to be as frugal as possible. I don't try to inflate my lifestyle and live this crazy lifestyle, because I don't want it, and I don't want to support that, because all that money I could be using could go to stocks, could go to real estate, could go to my business. So that's exactly what it means to be frugal instead of cheap. And cheap just means you're trying to save money on everything, and even though it's good to spend more money on this one thing because it will help you out better, you still just won't spend the money. That's a lot more negative, and it can affect your life. But just to recap the whole conversation that we're having with each other is that you have to plant the tree. The tree is essential to life. If there was no trees on earth, there would be no oxygen. So we couldn't breathe without trees. And you should think the same way when you think about stocks, real estate, and business. You have to plant those seeds, because if you don't plant those seeds, we can't live. Especially we can't live under the means that we want to live in, and under the circumstances that we want to do, the time about which we go about doing things. You want to have time, you want to have freedom, you want to have, just money, So remember that when you are investing your money, you want to think of it like a tree, so that 10, 20, 30 years later, you're going to be sitting in the shade. And that's exactly how we should all pinpoint it, and we should all look at it. That being said, thank you guys for watching the channel. Please like this video and subscribe. I see you guys been subscribing. We're almost at 200 subscribers, which is awesome. Thank you to every single one of you guys that have already subscribed. Please tell a friend. And down below, to get your tree started, as you can see on my screen right now, that I have my trees planted, and I water it every single week by adding more money to my plant. That's gonna grow over time. But the best time and the best thing that you can do as a beginner is just to jump into it and just start, because you learn along the way. So remember, down below there's a link to the Robinhood app. With my link, you can get 1 free stock, and also you'll be helping me in my tree by giving me 1 free stock as well when you sign up. So definitely do that. Just get started on the journey. That's the most important advice I can give anybody. And comment down below too. I love answering your questions, and I love talking to you guys. Hit the thumbs up again once more, and thank you guys for watching so much about my rant. So I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.